Many people, if you ask them, would they worship a statue today, they may look at you like you're crazy and tell you no. Idol worship of wood and stone in the past consisted of these types of worship, as we see in Daniel chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces, to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace." This type of worship is still taking place today. Idolatry can be anything you worship over Yah, but let's focus on the wood and stone of today that's worshiped. When Yah created man, he commanded him to dominate earth with the help of his wife. And Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Everything on earth was to be utilized on earth by man, from the making of a house, to the food we have to eat, to the clothes on our backs, man made from earth. Satan has now deceived and enslaved mankind with his money system. Even if you live off grid, it's something you have to pay for. And even in the coming additions to this system, everyone will be tempted with buying and selling and idolatry, which can be explained on another video. Satan has deceived the world to worship things that they can create instead of the Creator. Why worship something you were created to have power over? This is the folly of man and idolatry. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? You are even my witnesses. Is there an Elohim beside me? Yeah, there is no Elohim. I know not any. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit. And they are their own witnesses. They see not, nor know, that they may be ashamed. Who hath formed a god, or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen, they are of men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up. Yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongues both worketh in the coals, and fashion it with hammers, and worketh it with the strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretcheth out his rule. He marketh it out with a line. He fitteth it with the planes. He marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain do nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof, and warm himself. Yea, he kindleth it, and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh for God, and worship it. He maketh it a graven image, and fall down thereto. He burneth part thereof in the fire, and with part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself, and say, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the residue thereof he maketh for God, even his graven image. He fall down unto it, and worship it, and prayeth unto it, and say, Deliver me, for thou art my God. They have not known, nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes, that they cannot see, and their hearts, that they cannot understand. And none considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge, nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire, yea. Also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it. And shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? Worshipping things we can create with our own hands. Israel angered Yah in the wilderness with this same folly. They saw with their eyes what Yah did to the Egyptians and their idols, but yet they intimidated Aaron into making an Egyptian idol in the wilderness after Yah freed them from slavery, as we read in Exodus 32, verse 1 through 9. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graven tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation, and said, Tomorrow is a feast to Yah. And they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play. And Yah said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And Yah said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Because of this, he said, Israel will worship the wood and stone idols of the oppressors in the lands of their enslavement, because they turned their backs on Yah, as we read in Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. And Yah shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. What is the wood and stone being worshipped in these lands? Well, two of the most popular that is being taught is the wooden cross that represents Christianity, and the rock or the black stone that is worshipped in Saudi Arabia and the Mecca. Okay, and these are two idols that are made from wood and stone. And our people are caught up in Christianity, and they wear crosses around their necks and crosses in their houses. And they also go to Saudi Arabia, and they kiss stone and worship that stone. Okay, but it goes much deeper than this. The first one we will touch on is money. What is money actually made of? When we see the term wood and stone comes from the earth. And most of the idols that men and women serve today comes from the earth. Okay? The U.S. currency is printed on special paper made by Crane Paper Company. Unlike traditional paper made of wood pulp, the paper used for currency is made of 75% cotton and 25% linen. The irony that our ancestors picked cotton in this land was established off the backs of the Israelites who brought wealth to this country by cotton. And the irony that the dollar bill is 75% cotton and 25% linen. It comes from the earth. It comes from plants, okay? Wood and stone, things that come from the earth. Money is mainly worshipped in two ways. People put their trust, security, and confidence in money to save and deliver them out of all troubles. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Elohim a ransom for him, for the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. Money is made from the ground. It cannot deliver us from death. Money is also worshipped and chased to obtain all the other possessions that comes from the earth. Making money to buy a home, land, or clothes, etc. is not idolatry. It is when we desire these things for vain and wicked reasons. The most popular is to show off. This is why people buy things they really can't afford to impress themselves or others. This is serving mammon. No.
I be out walk on this money. Woo! 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 Get some anointing. You put some up here. Woo! Man. Woo! Put some money. Put some anointing on this money. You put something up here. You put. Woo! Prosper. Prosper, I said. Woo! 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 Woo!
No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Elohim and Mammon. Here are the other things Israel and the nations worship, that is wood and stone: gold, silver, diamonds, and jewelry. Many people worship these things. They store up gold, silver, and other precious stones because they believe that they will get money for these things, or in the coming disasters and the coming plagues that Yah will send, they believe somehow that these things will deliver them from those times. But they are sadly mistaken. As we read in Ezekiel chapter 7, the same thing is going to happen again. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahuwah. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. If silver and gold won't deliver, then definitely this paper fiat currency of America definitely will not deliver. Cars and vehicles. Cars and vehicles come from wood, stone, objects from the ground, and people worship these things. People desire to have all types of cars for status, to show off for various reasons. It's not idolatry itself to buy a car. It's not idolatry. It's not idolatry to go, if you worked for it, to go get you even a nice car. But what is idolatry is when your whole desire is to obtain money just to buy these vehicles to show off to others. Your whole desire is you always think about this specific car that you want. Your whole desire is to buy that Dodge SRT, and you were willing to buy this vehicle even though you can't afford it. You're willing to work countless hours just to get this specific vehicle for vain and idolatrous reasons. This is idolatry, and this is why most people today go and get expensive vehicles that they can't afford because they want to show off. They put confidence in these things. These things, in their eyes, make them look like someone of value. Okay? And just like in ancient times, they trusted in chariots. It's the same way today. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of Yah, our Elohim. Phones. Cell phones are one of the biggest things that the nations of the world and Israel today commit idolatry with. It's very idolatrous. People spend more time on their phones than spending time with Yah. People, before they even get up, when they get up in the morning, they don't pray, they don't talk with Yah, they don't read their Bibles, they don't meditate. They get on their phones and check their notifications of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Phones are the biggest things today, the biggest idols, the biggest devices that people are committing idolatry with today. Cell phones. And guess what? In order to create majority of the cell phones, including the most popular cell phone in the world today, the iPhone, they actually need a specific stone called coltan that is mined in Congo. Okay? Congo is in Central Africa. They have to mine for this stone, coltan stone, and it's very hard to mine for. In order to allow these phones to function, you can look it up on your own leisure time, guys. So these phones are actually made from stone, okay, and they have gold in them too, which is also stone, okay, guys. So this cell phones are idols today. Having a cell phone itself is not committing idolatry. It's where our heart is, guys. It's where our heart is, okay? And majority of the people, they put so much confidence in their phone. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't, when you're driving down the street, you see people on a bus stop. When people go and gather with their families, uh, even when people want to seek out the Most High, they go and Google everything nowadays. I mean, the phones are the biggest idols today. I can touch on this for probably a whole hour. Like I can make a whole video about just cell phones alone because the way that it is today. But once again, cold tan stones and gold is in this phone. And the fact that we worship this, a man created this phone, okay, that the world today worship, all right? And the fact that people are worshiping these things, it's idolatry because these things, you can create a phone on your own, okay? It's nothing special. It came from the ground and it's going to go back. Other forms of technology, such as television, laptops, tablets, all these things are also big idols today of society. I believe the cell phone personally is a bigger idol than the television. The television was the idol before cell phones, but I believe that cell phones are bigger idols than televisions, tablets, and laptops. I really do, in computers, okay? The cell phone has taken the place of all those things, right? But technology itself, once again, a person can have a TV in their house and literally, like, I have been to people's houses where they have a TV and it just has dust, like they don't even watch it. And you can't really say it's an idol at that point because idolatry, remember guys, idolatry is a heart issue at the end of the day. Now, if any of these things make a person stumble, just get rid of it. You need to be careful, okay? But uh, remember, guys, many of us have found out this truth about the Most High Yah through some of these devices, including myself. Okay, I found out about the Most High Yah through YouTube when I was on my laptop. Okay, so that's just an example of how, you know, the scriptures say that the saints will use exploits. Okay, so certain things that Satan and his children created, the saints are going to be able to use these things to spread the message, like via worldwide, like via laptop, via YouTube. Okay, and this is what's happening. But majority of the world is not doing that. They're using these things as idols. Okay, and technology, the laptops, the televisions, the tablets, most of them still have those same materials, gold and other forms of stone, to allow it to function and what it's created from. Okay, the other form of wood and stone is actually stones. Okay, people actually are wearing uh, crystals, what they call it, around their neck. They're wearing it around their neck. They're wearing it in their ears, on their fingers. Um, this is no different from the crystal balls that you see many of these psychics or whatever they want to call themselves, what they use as mediums, okay? Um, and people are still doing these things today. They say these things bring them good luck, okay? It reminds me of when the Muslims go to the Mecca and they circle around this black stone that they call the Kaaba stone, and they kiss this stone because they say it's going to give them blessings. So that's why I chose to keep this one last, because it's literally, I mean, all these other objects, they are stone too, wood and stone, but it's like people, we can tend to forget because these objects are molded and melted and formed into looking different than just a typical rock. But crystals are, they look exactly like rocks. People are actually wearing these things around their necks, and they say that it's gonna give them good energy, protective energy, weed off the bad spirits, all these different theories and philosophies that they believe, but yet they don't want to worship the living and true Elohim. They speak against you and think you're stupid, but they're actually wearing a rock around their neck, and they said it's gonna protect them. Let's see, idolatry, the reason why, as we read in Isaiah, why it's so foolish is because the Most High created man after his image, and a woman was created from man, to help the man. So both of them was given dominion. The man was given dominion, and the woman is helping the man in his dominion. Okay, men and women were to be royal. They were to rule the earth in sovereignty. Okay, but now man and women have came to the point where they're actually worshiping things that were created by the Most High to have power over. Okay, gold, wood, stone, things that come from the earth were things that the Most High gave man and women to have power over. But what happened down the line, because of men's carnal nature and because of sin, they began to worship the actual things that they created. Like literally, they were created with their hands. A man would create something with his hands, eat, wash up, just like the scripture said. And then he would go later on that night and bow down to the exact same statue that he created with his own hands. That's like the Most High worshiping us. Makes no sense. We worship the Most High because he created us. And then he gave us things that we are to create. We're not going to worship our children. The scriptures say that it don't say that you worship your father and mother. Yes, but it does say honor your father and mother. Like we create our children. And our parents created us. Like, so we don't worship things that we can create. That's the power that the Most High gave us. And I hope people are getting this through their head, okay? All these things are corrupt, meaning they will return to the ground from whence they came. We need to trust the living Elohim and not dead things unless we die forever with him.